Case of God versus Major League Soccer. A Florida court ruling an Orlando church may be seized and destroyed, leveled, to build a new $85 million Major League Soccer stadium. The court claims it's perfectly legal under eminent domain. Here to weigh in is Fox News senior judicial analyst, Judge Andrew Napolitano. All right, Judge, there are two phases to this process. The first one is whether or not they can do it. This judge down there said, yes, they can. Now all they got to do is figure out how much it's going to cost them.
Well, it's actually, for the people that worship at this church, even worse, because if the church and the city cannot agree on what the value of the church is, right, the city still gets the property and still can demolish the church, and then a judge and jury will decide later, probably after the stadium is built, what the value of the church is. I must tell you that in the years that I've been studying the Constitution and teaching it and lecturing on it and doing my best to explain it, I have never seen this conflict. The right to free expression of religion.
Sure. Versus
the right of the state to condemn real estate and then sell it to somebody else. The state doesn't even own this, stadium. Because this right of free expression of religion is not only a natural right that we all have, it's expressly guaranteed in the Constitution. One would think they could look elsewhere for the parking lot adjacent to the stadium rather than to destroy a church.
Absolutely. That's such a good point. So what was okay, so the first stage the judge went through was whether or not they can seize the property, the church property, via eminent domain. And she said yes.
She just did not see it the way I do, which is that this fundamental right to religion trumps, there she is, trumps the ability of the city to build this stadium when and where they want to build it.
Okay, so she's declared the city can take it. It's in the city's best interest to build this soccer joint. So now what they've got to do is they've got to figure out a fair price. The city has offered $1.5 million for that property.
And the church elders say it'll cost them $35 million to relocate and rebuild. Guess what? In the interim, while that soccer stadium is being built, while Kilmeade and his buddies are enjoying that great game of soccer, these people will be without a church because of the government. Now think of this. The government could trample as many churches as it wants if it has the cash with which to do so under this bizarre theory of this judge in Florida.
Sure. You know, the city's offering $1.5 million. I don't know of many churches that could completely sack up and move somewhere else and establish a new parish, a new congregation for $1.5 million.
You know, it's a negotiation tactic. It's obviously worth many times $1.5 million, and I understand the city lowballing it, but I don't understand where the city claims it can put a church out of business when the free exercise of religion is expressly guaranteed in the Constitution. So you're very bad precedent. I'm very worried about this.
You say the judge got it wrong.
I do, and I think it'll be reversed, but guess what? The church will be gone by the time it's reversed.
Well, that's
because these condemnation cases, the city takes the property first and worries about who owns it and what it's worth later.
All right, Judge Napolitano, thanks for bringing this case to our attention.
You're welcome, Stevie. Kilmeade, it's soccer.
Yeah, it is soccer. Is it worth it?
Gone. Where is he?
Email us about that. Do you think it's appropriate what the city is doing down there to tear down the church for a soccer stadium?